And you are on the air.
I call to order the regular meeting for the Township Trustees for May 27, 2025 to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please call the roll. Trustee O'Brien. Here. Trustee Rail. Here. Trustee Boulder. Here. That takes us to public comment. Anybody who would like to speak, please come to the lectern. Okay. Hearing none, we'll move to approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I don't have a motion to bring forward for this evening because I've not had a chance to review all the meeting minutes.
That takes us to road requisitions. The first one being May number 2 for an amount of $621.25. I move to approve.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Rail. Discussion. Please call the roll.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee Boulder.
Yes. That takes us to C05-01, Shelley Company for the use of dirt in an amount of $2,500. I'm under the understanding that this is likely to be an expense, but there are possible alternatives.
It is possible that we may be able to partner with the state to do it for free, but we don't have any paperwork at this time. So DNR may have an opportunity for us to give it to them, but we are uncertain of what that arrangement would look like. And so this is, in case that doesn't work out, that we would be able to dispose of it.
I move that we approve requisition C05-01 to Shelley Company for an amount of $2,500.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Rail. Discussion. Please call the roll.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes, that takes us to requisition number B-01-01 and the amount of $6,930 for sanitary plumbing. We know that this is something that is ongoing and it's a need, so I move that we approve requisition B-01-01 to sanitary plumbing and heating for an amount of $6,930.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Rail. Discussion.
Of note that the current one is from 1988 and is leaking freon.
That's the air conditioner for this room, this part of the building.
Is there any possible way we can ensure that the noise is mitigated with the installation of the new system?
When it kicks on,
It's going to be a lot quieter because it's going to be a lot more system. The system we have is 25, 30 years old, so, and most of it, it's going to kick on from the outside anyway, the new part.
Okay.
further discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
So are we doing the fire station under roads or fire?
A facility, so I put it under roads, but it can go under
I
either
don't
one.
mind that. So, but it doesn't have roads.
So I wasn't sure if that was coming out of fire or what it was coming out of, so I didn't know how the requisition.
It's repair, not improvements, correct?
Correct.
So that would be fire.
So that's why I left it blank, I wasn't sure how the requisition would be.
Discussion before I move it. I move that we approve an amount of appropriation for the amount of $2,500 to New Start Construction LLC for the purpose of paying the deductible of the entrance repair to the fire station. Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Bullard. Discussions. I know that there was an attempt to get a variety of people to bid on it or quote on it, and we were fortunate to get one. Further discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee O'Brien. Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
And so that will come out the 211. Okay, so, roads agreements,
We do not have anything. Originally, I had put this on, hoping to discuss, we had talked about, updating some of the road agreements, and we're in discussions, but there have been a few conversations, and I need a little bit more information before we move forward on that. So I will put it on for next time, but, I do know at least one of the townships, Brown Township, will be discussing it at their June meeting.
Brown is a unique one, and I will say Brown, is very good about their half of the road. In fact, they're probably better at it than we are, aren't they?
So I will be reaching out to the Ohio Township Association to see if they have any sample agreements that we might be able to draw from to update it.
Because, I mean, it's hard to make them all uniform because
Sure.
they do half the road entirely, and we do half the road entirely. And so since they've kept it up maybe better than we have, they may not want to put it the other way, and like we do with Orange. And it's more like Berkshire's agreement, but the ditches are different between those two.
And changing subjects just a little bit, we've got good quotes for building, and we should have that for the next meeting to release or to move forward to put a building up at the fire station for the roads department, the storage building. Okay? We'll have a lot more information at that meeting at that time.
That takes us to
When
cemetery.
are we going to be discussing the storage building or?
Storage building. That's the storage building that we would be for. It's not the discussion of the rest of the,
Which is down in the 14th.
it's farther down.
Gotcha, thank you.
That's just the cold storage building
Yeah.
that we've been talking about for a long time.
Okay, that takes us then to cemetery. For cemetery.
One comment is we have just to let you know, we received information that lady wants to put up a 5-foot high marker at the Evergreen Cemetery, and we don't allow that, and I don't believe we should, don't move, and we're just gonna keep the prosecutor involved in it, but right now, I see no reason to put that up. Part of the problem is getting a foundation to handle a 5-foot high marker is very difficult, and the soil that we have to use at Evergreen is the soil above the casket, so the soil has been disturbed, so it's going to be a problem as far as keeping the thing up.
Well, but more than that, there has never been markers, above ground markers.
There's
allowed.
and the reason there's no above ground markers is what I was talking about, the disturbed soil.
Well, not only that, but it's swampy, so, I mean,
Mhm.
it'll sink. But it would look really bizarre to have, and to allow one person to do it and not allow anyone else
That's correct.
to do it.
So I'm just giving you a heads up.
But I understand that it's gonna be problematic because they've already purchased it, and my understanding, and so.
That's correct, it was purchased for a different cemetery, and they wanna, because they're not gonna move where they thought they were gonna move, they said, well, we'll just use it. Okay. And so that's the issue, but irregardless, we're holding our ground that it's going to be serviceable.
Good.
No problem. All I'm trying to do is just give you a heads up.
Because I'm sure if they spent that much money, that they're going to be unhappy, and then they're gonna try to pursue different avenues, which I would do too. I don't blame them, but all other avenues are gonna end in the same places.
That's correct.
Okay. Fire department requisitions, first one being 2525-022. Do you want to speak to that?
That is just the non-requisition spending for the 2-week period ending on the 22nd.
And
I turned everything.
Approved 2025-032 for $1,404.50.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Rail. Discussion. Please call roll.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes. That takes us to 2025-029.
That is a request for sending 2 of our personnel to the Paratech University training course in Toledo. That is, Paratech is our struts that we use for vehicle stabilization and other applications in the rescue world. This is a 2-day class. The requisitions for tuition, lodging, and meal reimbursement for those 2 days for both firefighters.
I move that we approve the 2025-029 Paratech University training course for an amount of $600 with an expected cost of $500.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Bullard. Discussion.
In the requisition moving forward, I know you have the supplemental information. Did you have the names of the 2 firefighters?
Yeah, it's Captain Shaw and Justin Campbell.
Yeah, I know that's the names.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm saying that was.
Oh,
Okay, I'll put that in there. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to, I apologize. Please call roll.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
That takes us to resolution 2025-030.
That is for VFIS Emergency Vehicle Operations Kit. That is the classroom portion, the instructor's manual, and all necessary video items to conduct a classroom driver's training program through our VFIS. We have, at current time, we have 2 certified trainers, and we're going to be looking to add a couple more. But our last update in that course was in 2008, so it's well overdue.
So have we used VFIS before?
Yeah, it's just it's the EVOC course is what it
Okay,
is.
so you have all that information for the.
I don't know that we've used VFIS, that I've purchased. I've not purchased anything from VFIS. I don't know that we have.
Okay, because it doesn't have all.
Yeah, I'll get all that information for you.
I don't need it, but. Okay, I move that we approve appropriation for requisition 2025-030 to VFIS for an amount of $545.
Second.
Moved by the chair, second by trustee Rail. Discussion. Please call roll.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
That takes us to resolution 2025-031.
MES is Municipal Emergency Services. Yeah, on the bottom line, change that. This is for SCBA parts, for mask repairs and adding some straps to our masks so the firefighters can carry them around their necks rather than them dangling from the regulator, which is not good for the masks. So,
And I think this is from, we've had this.
yes, we've used MES a lot. Yeah.
Okay, I move that we approve appropriation of $1,254.94 for requisition 2025-031 to MES.
Second.
Chair, second by trustee Rail. Discussion. Please call roll.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Okay, do we want to then go to resignation at this time?
If that's the board's desire, or we can.
Well, I mean, there are more.
No, there's no more
Yes, let's do that.
requisitions.
So, are we ready to move on this, or do we need an executive session?
That's up to the board.
I'd like to have an
I
executive
think an
session.
executive session is probably warranted.
Do you want to make the motion?
Yeah, move to recess into executive session from regular session pursuant to RC 121.22G1. For matters concerning personnel, hiring, firing, compensation of public employee or official.
And who will be present?
With the fire chief, township administrator, board of trustees, and fiscal officer present.
I have a motion by trustee Rail, seconded by trustee Bullard. Discussion. Please call roll.
Trustee Rail,
Yes.
trustee Bullard,
Yes.
trustee O'Brien.
Yes, we are in executive session.
5:45.
positions of administration as we can.
Motion to go into regular session for the executive session. So moved.
I second, moved by trustee Bullard, seconded by chair. Discussion, please call the roll.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
We did go into executive session and no decisions were made, no actions were taken. We are back in regular session. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Move to recess into executive session from regular session pursuant to ORC 121.22G3, conferences with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or imminent court action, with all members of the Board of Trustees present, the fiscal officer, township administrator, and Chris Reinhardt from Reinhardt Services.
I second. Moved by trustee Rail, seconded by the chair. Discussion, please call the roll.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
We are in executive session.
That's G3, right?
G3?
requesting a regular session from executive session.
I second. Moved by trustee Bullard, seconded by the chair. Discussion, please call roll.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes. Okay, so, the board did meet in executive session, no actions were taken, no decisions were made. Act on this when we came back last time. Would you like to motion on those?
Certainly. Move to accept the formal resignation of Assistant Fire Chief Brandon Mosier with regret, effective June 20th, 2025.
Moved by trustee Rail, seconded by trustee Bullard. Discussion. I will say that I do believe Assistant Chief Mosier has done a very good job.
I agree.
Further discussion? Please call roll.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Thank you. So that takes us to zoning department.
Nothing to report there. We are still, my understanding is we are still working on the formatting for the monthly.
Yes.
Okay, that takes us to administrative requisitions.
Yes, the first one is for Cisco. It's to AdviseX, and this is the multi-factor authentication. This is another solution where whether employees would be logging in through VPN or workspaces, that they would get an authentication that would just help with security. And this is something that is necessary.
We accept resignation or requisition A05-01 to AdviseX for $2,945.65.
Second.
Moved by trustee Bullard, seconded by trustee Rail. Discussion.
Will this, is this gonna lead to us needing to have our phone on file and the double factor authentication?
Potentially, however, there is another solution where if somebody doesn't want to use or doesn't have the ability to use a smartphone, that we would also be able to get a fob. And so we could work with it depending on the preference. I can work with the county to understand how many of those we would need.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Further discussion? Please call roll.
Trustee Rail.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
The next one is a resolution for approving membership into the Coalition of Large Ohio Urban Townships, which is also known as CLOUT through the Ohio Township Association. I have done a bit of research into CLOUT. The cost would be $200 annually, and what it does is provide us resources and access to other townships around the state who are larger and dealing with more complex issues, such as we are as we continue to grow. I do think membership would be beneficial. We can evaluate during the first year to determine whether we would move forward. They do meet annually at the Ohio Township Association annual meeting, as well as my understanding is Central Ohio has a meeting for members that will be held at some point during the summer. So I likely would be receiving an invitation to that, even if we aren't members at that point, to better understand. They also offer the potential to engage in litigation if CLOUT deems it appropriate for them to take on, which they did specify that for matters that aren't singular to a township, but are something that other townships might be facing as well, that might be something they take on, and advocacy at the State House for issues that are coming up that maybe warrant the Ohio legislature's attention, that they would bring those forward and put them on their agenda.
I was curious about that latter one because we have a number of issues that we've been working through with the county township association, and I would appreciate extra representation, or at least another voice on a number of legislative matters related to zoning, annexation, host of other items. Was there anything specific that they said in terms, like, would they, for example, create a letter or, anything kind of tangible other than just we would represent you further?
It may depend on the issue, and they didn't specify which issues that they may engage on, but they said it would be a case-by-case basis, and it would be us reaching out to them and say, here's the issue, and then they would assess.
One of the major ones that I was disappointed that the OTA conceded on was raising the threshold for referendums, which was put forward actually by Mr. Brenner.
They were
And-
for that, or they just didn't oppose it?
They were in favor of the 15%, he had put forward 30. And
And
what
it
their
was 7
argument
before.
was that, their representation is the board of trustees, not the people of the respective township trying to do the referendum.
That sounds,
But something like that would be something that I would be interested in engaging at the level of a cloud representation, to get in front of the State House and make certain that people understand that even the people that, you know, are supposedly representing our area are not necessarily representing the interests of townships.
I think the fee annually is fairly nominal for us to be able to join
Okay,
for the year, and then certainly can assess moving forward.
yeah, let's do that. If we don't feel it's of value in a year or two, we don't have to continue.
so have you provided a copy of this to the fiscal officer so that he can print it in whole without us reading it into the record?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I move a resolution approving membership in the coalition of large Ohio urban township, CLOUT.
Second,
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Rail, discussion.
I believe that having a seat at the table is very important, and we're definitely turning into a large township, and I think this is a plus for us.
Further discussion?
I concur.
Please call roll.
Trustee Bullard,
Yes.
trustee O'Brien,
Yes.
trustee Real,
Yes,
Okay, then we need to do a motion to,
So I move that we approve, requisition 05-02A05-02 for an amount of $200 to Ohio Township Association for CLOUT membership.
second,
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Real, discussion. Please call roll.
trustee Real,
yes.
trustee Bullard,
yes,
trustee O'Brien,
Yes. Would you like to address the 01-02?
Yes, this is a
Yeah.
reckless.
do we want to get the signatures on this, because if
Yes.
you're gonna go away,
Yeah.
we'll lose it.
Step away for a few.
We don't need that.
Not quite ready.
May 27th. And,
I'm just saying.
oh, okay, go ahead. I was gonna give you the resolution number, but go ahead, that's fine.
What is the resolution?
25-5-37. I can fill that in. That's different from mine.
So whenever you're ready, I'll do the,
Requesting funding to purchase a three-drawer fireproof filing cabinet. There are some files that have not previously, because there's not been an administrator, that will be moving from the fiscal officer's office into the administrator's office, such as personnel records that should be in a fireproof filing cabinet, and would like to purchase one. Trustee Bullard did point out that there is a grant available through the Ohio Township Association, and in talking to staff, there is another use for that grant that we would like to do later this year, so I'd like to hold off on that.
I move that we approve requisition P01-02 for an amount of $4,398 to Amazon, with the expected cost being $3,999.
So,
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Bullard, discussion, please call roll.
Trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
yes,
Trustee Rail.
Yes,
the funds from the, OTA will be used for different things, so one of the things is just specifically fireproof cabinet, so if you can use it there, that's good. It was in the memo that, fiscal officer, forwarded to.
I think we may, there's a couple of other things we may want to use it for later this year, so we will be bringing that forward at some point.
And if that falls through, we can always get a note on these cabinets because we regularly have expanded records. Although it will hopefully be nice to have them digitalized.
Yes, we are working on that as well.
Okay, so, do we have time to do the next one?
I think we can.
So the next item is, vehicle policy.
Yes, this has been a discussion for a few meetings, and before I have a redlined version in your packets of proposed changes, which had been requested from last time. There is page 5 and page 7. Page 7 has minor red lines to clarify. Actually, page 7 addresses the board's concern about keeping a log of who is authorized currently if the trustees have not approved it, which you would do through this vote. Then the fiscal officer can keep the log that only the prior chief has approved.
I'm fine with these adjustments. I think they at least address what I wanted to have clarified in the language.
And it all makes sense to me, but I have one question. How much is it gonna cost us?
Yes, so I looked into that, and it's approximately about $80 a week, and doing the quick calculation, between about $4,000 a year in fuel. And that is inclusive of all of the chief's driving, not just from home and back.
Okay,
He is using it for, of course.
so that number would probably be closer to $20 to $30 per week there and back,
Yes.
take home and back.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, you're talking about fuel, you're not talking
Yeah.
about depreciation, wear and tear, that type of stuff. But that part isn't new, is it?
Which piece?
We're talking about the chief.
No, there's only 2. So page 5 has the paragraph that discusses the township employee, the authorization to leave from their place of residence if they're not. And then clarifying on page 7, it actually addresses that the trustees have to approve who can take one.
appreciate your removal of the comma there. I always find that fascinating.
You don't own any, it's not possessive.
Well, I don't know that I really have a problem with this wording because it's not addressing what I opposed.
It addresses the wording that I wanted in, that's what I was very specific.
Well, I'm not opposed to your wording.
Okay,
I'm opposed to a different policy that this isn't addressing.
yeah, but it's saying what is, and I think part of what you're asking for is explication of what it is not. And that's not, policies are not to say what it's not, policies are to say what it is.
Oh, I can say what it's not.
But it doesn't, what you want is you want exclusions of things that don't exist in the policy today.
What I want is a policy that nobody takes it home.
That's fair, but we don't agree on that.
Right, but this doesn't negate that. Because it says a list of employees that the trustees have approved.
Yeah,
So if we don't approve it, nobody can take it home.
correct.
So I'm not opposed to that.
Okay, so this policy's good then. Then we have to deal with the next one, which is to
Yeah.
approve
Right.
explicitly the chief to take home the vehicle, which it sounds like we're still not closer on necessarily,
I think
despite
that's accurate.
some of my really good points last meeting.
Very good points, but I have better points.
Okay, well, we can talk through that, but this policy though
I don't have
is,
a problem. You have a problem with this?
I don't have a problem with it.
So I don't really want to fight over something. we agree
move
on.
to approve and adopt Appendix C, driving and vehicle operation, red line version as presented in the 527 meeting as the policy for driving and vehicle operation.
Second. Moved by trustee Rail, seconded by chair. Discussion. Please call the roll.
Trustee Fuller,
Yes.
trustee Rail,
Yes.
trustee O'Brien.
Yes. Okay, so that takes us to the next item.
Well, do you want to address the fire chief actually being approved to take home?
No, I think.
Okay. You don't have to address that.
So that takes us to Public Health Department ticket surveillance.
Okay. Yes, so the Delaware Health Department has reached out and has requested approval for allowing the department to do tick surveillance. And they need sign off on a letter, so requesting the board's authorization for me to do so and for me to do so in the future.
Okay,
I can bring forward a resolution, but for this item in particular.
so moved.
Okay, hang on.
Second.
I'm writing about trustee Rail leaving. Okay. All right, so we are on Delaware Public Health Department takes your animals. Is there,
There's nothing in the packet about it.
the Department of Transportation?
No, there's nothing in the packet about
Oh, there's
this.
nothing with that.
It was simply an email.
Okay, so what
So
is
what we're doing is authorizing Administrator Hill to write a letter
okay,
regarding the Delaware Public Health Department ticket surveillance.
And could you also include mosquitoes in that too?
I will reach out to them to understand their entire vector program.
Because mosquitoes do carry diseases. just
Yes.
And
like that.
so I'll take that as a friendly amendment to add mosquitoes to the resolution. So we accept that friendly amendment. So it's interesting because in my discussions with Administrator Hill earlier last week, I mentioned the same thing.
Yeah, that's been an ongoing discussion point. I think that's politically correct enough, that with the health department for years, about in this area. And when you look at the population and stuff we have here now, I believe we definitely need to be looking at it.
And I'd welcome the opportunity to establish a line of communication with the health department. So
Sure.
we'll take this opportunity to do that.
Okay.
And just a little side issue, if they decide to spray in a particular area, do we need to somehow or other inform the new residents as to what that means?
I think that would be a good item for a
Newsletter?
newsletter.
Okay, and what it is they take a truck and they spray, they drive down the street and spray.
Yes,
And
I'm
if
familiar with the
okay,
program. Yep.
and if you put your house on it, they'll put for your address and then start again and they
Yes.
pass your address.
Yes.
I just want everybody to understand it. It's not like you protest and it's gonna keep it out of your neighborhood. It's gonna keep it out of the street in front of your house. That's all it's gonna do.
Got it. Okay, further discussion? Please call roll.
trustee O'Brien.
Yes.
Trustee Bullard.
Yes.
And trustee Rail has left the meeting at this point.
Okay, so track letter of support.
Yes, we received, the trustees received a request. Do you want me to go over it or do you want to?
Well, I have a comment, which is, I'm in support of the Sunbury Parkway Phase B and C and all that. That's not what my concern is. My concern is the effect on the township roads and the township. And I'm not sure that that's been taken into account in the overall planning of this project. I think Sherman Road and 3B's McKay Road are going to get excessive amounts of traffic, or a huge increase in traffic, and would like to understand what the project is going to do to fix that, or if it's going to do anything to fix that. So I'm in support of it, as long as they're doing some things to mitigate the problems for the township.
I'm in total agreement. You said exactly what I thought. It also is good to, after you have the seat at the table, if we outright say we're opposed to it, I think that'll be counterproductive. I think if we outright say we're for it, they'll say, oh, you said we could do whatever we wanted, and there's no implications,
And,
down the
and,
road, et cetera.
this letter is a great template, but I would like to see a paragraph added about township's concerns on.
So what I would recommend the board do, because this happens to, quickly, is to authorize Administrator Hale to conditionally, approve it so that she can talk with them and craft something that's where the board's head is, which,
You understand my position. I'm happy to work with Administrator Hale to write the letter and put the paragraph on to do that, if that makes sense.
Would
If you're agreeable to that, if that seems to make sense to everybody, I'm happy to do that.
are you all granting trustee Bullard then the authority to sign off on the letter going out the door, or?
I kind of would prefer Administrator Hale writing it, but I have,
I can draft it and then work with him to make sure that
or maybe the two of you sign it, because I want it to be not from a trustee and they're thinking, I want them thinking it's from the board, because we're in total alignment.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm more than willing to do that. We just should authorize me so that the board has authorized me to do that, so that I will sign it as the board authorized me to do this.
But I also would like her to chat with, kind of like we talked before, having staff and elected to elected, because sometimes it's hard to believe, but they sometimes ignore us.
And I'm totally in support of Administrator Hale. The only concern I've got is I want to make sure those costs are covered.
Yeah.
And if it helps to have the Township Trustees' signature on it, I'm okay with that too.
Okay, so I'm in alignment with what you're wanting to do, so if you make the resolution, I'll second.
Okay. Okay, I make a resolution that we authorize Administrator Hale to write a letter in support of the I-71 Sunbury Parkway Phase B and C in support of the TRAC program to build the road, build Sunbury Parkway, and plus adding a section regarding township concerns for township roads which are not part of the Sunbury Parkway, but will be dramatically affected by the Sunbury Parkway. And authorize trustee Bullard to work with Administrator Hale to add a paragraph covering that.
So can we add the word conditionally where you said in favor, conditionally in favor? So with that, friendly amendment, I second.
Okay, just so that Jeff gets it correctly, you want it at the beginning of the motion, and it's conditional acceptance of that.
I got that, but I have the word support, is the word we use in
Conditional
English.
support. Well, okay, I want his word, I just want the word conditional.
Got it.
Okay, so moved.
I second. Further discussion? You okay with that? Please call the roll.
Trustee Bullard,
Yes.
trustee O'Brien.
Yes. Okay, so that takes us then to, future facility planning. I tend to think that would be a good discussion with all three of us present.
Agreed. We will plan to have that on June 9th.
That takes,
If I might add just a little bit of comment to, this is a draft document that I had some input on writing. We're talking about the facilities document. And what I'd like for the trustees to do and for everybody to do is take a look at it and then mark it up as you see fit. And we do need to come up with a facilities plan because we've got significant growth and we need significantly more offices. We're bursting at the seams with the number of people that we have in the facilities, which we now have, and we need to increase the size of those facilities and take a look at them. And we need to put the effort into putting a plan together that we can, maybe use as a 5-year plan, something like that, and modify as necessary as we go along.
I actually agree. But I do want to have a discussion.
Completely, but this is a document.
I don't see anything really that I disagree with. I mean, I might have to, but,
If you want to add something, please add.
yeah, but I think your assessment is accurate. I don't think we need another executive session. Does anybody want one?
Mr. Chair, you missed fiscal officer items.
You know, I did. Thank you, Minister. That takes us back then to fiscal officer items. Do you want me to go ahead and possibly?
Yes,
Okay.
there's gonna be 3 of them.
Yeah, I got it. So I move that we approve positive pay file report, dated 5/26/2025 at 12:05:34 p.m. For warrants 32849 through 32876 for an amount of $48,838.13. Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Buller. Discussion? Please call the roll.
Trustee O'Brien,
Yes.
trustee Bullard,
Yes.
I move that we approve, positive pay file report 5/14/2025 at 6:46, and 40 seconds, for warrants 32847 through 32848 for an amount of $2,597.86.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Buller. Discussion? Please call the roll.
trustee Bullard,
Yes.
trustee O'Brien,
Yes. I move that we approve positive pay file report, dated 5/27/2025 at 4:18 and 53 seconds for warrants 32877 through 32879 for an amount of $3,194.19.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Buller. Discussion? Please call the roll.
trustee O'Brien,
Yes.
trustee Bullard.
Yes.
So we know what you just did. The first one was the actual big bunch of bills. The second one was the usual large bunch of monthly bills. The second one was reimbursing Chief and Captain Shaw for their training in Florida. And the third one was the holiday pay that we voted some time ago to return to people after they've been here for the 6 months. Thank you. So those are the electronics.
We need to do those things.
No, it's just for review.
Just for your review.
And I've already reviewed them.
Not many this time. And of course, it doesn't include the payroll, but the payroll, all that information is in the payroll packet. So,
And, there was an aggregation letter in our sign-in box in there. I don't think we need to do anything with that. Unless we need to find something to participate in it, but I believe
I don't believe so.
Hmm?
I don't believe so.
there was one in there. It was addressed to us.
Right, but like you know, it's an opt-out, and we're not opting out, so I don't see, reason to do anything.
I know that's correct for residents. Is it correct for businesses?
I believe anybody that's non-mercantile, anybody who receives a letter is qualified to participate in the program, historically, from my
So
experience.
As long as the businesses are in our house, we should do it well. No problem.
I can check with Aaron.
Just verify that,
I will.
Thank you.
because I want to make sure that we are participating in it, because it will be a savings to us.
Thank you. Anything else for fiscal officer items?
I did receive today, from Ms. Williamson down in the auditor's office, estimated revenues is due July 20th, so I'm happy. Yes, it is early. It was earlier last year.
I wonder why.
They want more time to look over them? I guess.
Well, that'll be done before I have to do it then. I might abstain on the vote on that.
I can't vote on it without.
Oh, no, we don't have to do it at this meeting.
No, yeah, right. No, I haven't done it yet. It's due for me to turn in by July 20th. I received email today telling me.
Normally they do it after September, but they might do it before, in which case I could vote on it, but I can't, I don't feel it's appropriate to vote on something that I'm gonna vote on later.
Correct.
As treasurer.
Mhm.
It's budget, that's right.
Well, it's not technically a budget.
But you'll sign
The budget,
as a
yes.
member of the budget committee.
And I have opinion on whether or not there should be budgets, but I won't do that until I take that office, because I don't think that's appropriate.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Any old business? Future meetings?
We have a motion meeting, not next Thursday, but, 2 weeks from Thursday. Before next meeting.
So it's the 12th.
And then we have, our Delaware County Township Association meeting. June I forget, I want to say 9th. I'm not positive on that.
Oh, okay.
12th. It's the 12th.
It's also
That's
the
what-
12th, okay.
And that's the only one that I'm going to, that I know of offhand. Anything that you would like to?
And that are not part of my regular course of business.
Anything else for the, late items?
None.
Anything else for the order?
I have none.
Talk about this. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second, moved by trustee Ford, seconded by the chair. Please call the roll.
Trustee Fuller.
Yes.
Trustee Ryan.
Yes. We are adjourned.
Is there anything you want to say, or?
Oh. My name is Chris DeJorpin.
Okay.
I retired